Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your Astroflower reading. It's good to be back. I've been away for a while, haven't I? I've been travelling around, seeing the world, seeing my family. It's been good. It's been difficult as well, as it is with family, but loving the bits, you know. So it's been an interesting time. So if you're new to the Astroflower, plenty of links down in the description below. You'll be able to see your flower with all the different elements that you've got on it. And see how the Astroflower works with introduction videos. We also have our sister channel called Somatic TV that goes into energy updates and gives you an idea of what's going on with the chakras and aura of our system. And this is a two-part reading for the 13th to the 20th. And you'll get a second part coming up in Sunday or Monday, I think, one of those 2 days. You'll find a link in the comments below. So you can then follow it all the way through. Great reading though, Cancer. It's a great reading. It's certainly been interesting. I had to predict it, didn't I? I had to sort of shoot myself in the foot. Because you've had pretty harsh readings actually. Before I had my sort of like vague break. You've had harsh readings, and this one looks really good. It does look good. And I think we've come across this Five of Swords in the last, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. But you might have to go back there and check it out. But yeah, I think it was in there. And I think it was lower down. So it's filtered through, which appears to be the case. So this is your spiritual side. This is your material side of your life. You have these 2 petals here, 1 and 4, that are trying to influence your karmic paths, which are here, petals 2 and 3. Petals 2 is the spiritual, petals 3 is the material. This is how your guides are trying to influence your karmic path on your super subconscious. That's with the everything that is around you, the coincidences in life. This is how your guides are trying to influence the conversation within you, inside your being. This is how you face. This is petal 10. This is how the interaction with the outside world. Of how you do the interaction with the outside world. And this is your inner being. It's like the overall energy within you in a way. Okay? So we're going to, in this first video, we're going to look at both sides and see how it all sort of knits together. And then later on, as I say, maybe on Sunday or Monday, you will have the second part of this reading, which will have the clarifications according to how the sun works, which we've been doing a lot on Instagram. We've done some great readings. Tanya has been doing some great readings on Instagram. So where we do these extra little readings according to how the sun works. Get over to Instagram and follow us, because you'll get these little card pulls during the week on solar activity. Okay, so the universe here on the spiritual sort of side of life, it's asking, I think it's asking you to speed up and to move on. So it's knowing how to ride both sides of the force and not getting stuck in one side. And maybe it's a case of marrying the 2 sides of the force. So it's like work and play. You've got to have it in equal balance. If it's not in equal balance, there's things are going to go wrong. Either financially, you're going to be in trouble, or physically, you might be in trouble because you've been working too hard. So it's a little bit about balance and stuff like that. But it's actually moving along with the flow of things. And because it's got that chariot, it's got that speed aspect to it. I think the universe is sort of kind of going, okay, now it's not the time to dilly-dally. It's now the time to just get on and do, and go and move. On your karmic path for this week, you've got the 2 of Cups. So it is marrying those sort of 2 sides. And the thing is, it could be for just some of you, but it could have to do with marriage and stuff like that, because you've got the 4 of Wands, which is what your guides are trying to influence your karmic path. They're trying to influence you into a place of marriage, but that may not be, okay, so that may be for some of you directly, but also the 2 of Cups is combining those 2 sort of sides of pleasure and joy in your life, and knowing that joy and pleasure is actually happens when you share it with someone. That's what, joy is. You can have a pleasure by yourself down at the beach saying, oh, it was amazing. You could see the most amazing sunsets or the most amazing waves or just feel the beautiful rays of the sun. But until you actually, if you're doing that on your own, until you actually explain that to someone, it's not going to become part of the collective consciousness, if you know what I mean. And it is that sort of sharing and caring aspect, and listening to the other person sort of saying, oh, I was down in the woods and it was absolutely brilliant and stuff like that. So it's marrying those sort of two sides as well, and marrying that side within yourself, maybe, of finding pure bliss and harmony within your own spirit. But for some of you, it could be a new relationship or a new or sense of marriage, because that Four of Cups, Four of Wands is to do with marriage, but it's also to do with a celebration, and it's stepping from one thing into another. You can't see what's really inside that tent, but at some point that's where you're going to, and it should be fun to get there. It should be very passionate. That's why we're dancing towards it, and celebrating. And those 4 wands, and 4 is that square, so it's something that's very concrete and physical in a way. It gives it structure. So that's the whole idea of marriage. It's the structure of love in a way. When we marry someone, it's a declaration of love, and that's what could be coming through here. But I think it's more a case of marrying the two sides within you. And the reason I say that is because above that, you have your guides trying to influence that conversation with you. And this is the Empress. And she is the connection between the moon and the earth, the yin and the yang, connecting those both sides. So you've got the Chariot that's got those 2 horses, you've got the Two of Cups, and now you've got the Empress, which is unifying sort of mind, body, and spirit, as it were. The energetic part of life, which we talk a lot about on Cymatic TV. Once you've subscribed here, you can go and subscribe there. You'll love it, seriously. And it helps you sort of like, once you can start marrying those sort of sides, you can actually start living a life where you're spiritually or emotionally fulfilled, not only within your relationships, but also within the physical world. It may seem like a bit like a headache to do that. You're looking at it, maybe kind of going, do you know what? I can't be bothered. I can't be to do it, and that may well be the case. So it may be a bit of a headache, but I don't think it is. I think it's more a case of you're trying to get out of situations that might have been confrontational in the past mentally, that no longer really have any place within your world. So you're walking away from that gentleman, or that, I say gentleman, it's not gender specific, it's just that he was a gentleman, but walking away from that person or that situation that they think they've won because you've walked away from the situation and it's given you a bit of a headache. But in the long run, you will be the winner, because you can combine your both sides in order to walk forward into love. And that's what you want within you. You've got that desire to start that new journey, to start anew, to turn the page, to marry yourself with life or your emotions. So it's really good on the emotional front. It really is good. It might be just that the world's a little bit heavy around you at the moment, and it's just creating that sort of bit heavy side of the Five of Swords, and how it sort of comes out. Let's see what's going on the material sort of side. So on the material sort of side, the universe has given you the moon. Now, we've got the moon and the earth in the Empress, but the moon here has all got that duality. There's that duality again with the white, the white and black wolves on it, and they're bathed in water, so they're bathed in emotion and stuff like that. And it's almost as if they want to go towards the light, but they can't see how to get there. And it's the universe is because it's all a bit veiled. And the universe with those, it seems to be, to me, is sort of like, it's almost encouraging you, sort of saying it's not as difficult as you think it is. Once you start down that road, what things that didn't seem evident before will become very evident as you go forward. And it's dispelling that whole idea of I can't quite see around the corner. Well, you've got to go around the corner in order to see it. It's just the way it goes. So your karmic path here, you've got that journey going forward. So you should be starting that on the material front. You should really be pushing maybe on for promotion or starting a new business. But it's basically drawing into your passions of how you like living life. That's what seems to be important on this journey. And it might be difficult to see how that's going to be reaction with the outside world. But at the end of the day, if you don't try it, you'll never know. And I think that will cause you a lot more pain if you don't really start this journey. So the Knight of Wands is trying to help you on that journey. You know, it's really strange. You've only got 2 cups. You've got the 2 of cups, and then you've got a load of wands. And the rest of the cards are major arcana cards, apart from the 5 of swords, of course, sorry. So it's I would say quite a heavy change within you going on. You're really turning corners here, I think, Cancer. And the Knight of Wands is a rhythmical thing. She's got as well, the funny thing is she's got those 4 wands that we also find in the 4 wands, which is opposite her as well. And it's about that journey of, for some of you, it could really be marriage. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's not going to apply for a lot of you, but it could be new love. And it's starting that journey of moving in with someone. That's what it could be. And that Knight of Wands is, as I say, about rhythm. So it's not like a constant tone. It's a drum beat. And it's getting into that rhythm. That's what your guides are trying to get you into, that rhythm, so you can start that journey, because they know that rebirthing, that death of something and the rebirthing of something new. And I think it's the death of just putting up with the world that doesn't really sit right with you, maybe, you know, as you move forward. And in your subconscious level, you've got your guide saying to you, well, let's try and look at this in a different way. Normally the hangman is attached to the tree of knowledge. He's hanging from the tree of knowledge. So he's taking what they know. The hangman's taking what they know, and they're putting themselves in a position according to what they know, so they can see things in a different way. And I think this is really important. It's like we've all done that. I've laid on a wall. I used to do it at school. I used to lay on the wall and I used to watch the people run around on the playground behind me, and they'd be upside down to me, and they sort of like spring up. And it's really gives a strange view of how life is when you do that sort of thing and how things work. You understand how gravity works in a different way. So it's looking at life in a different way, which will help you to, on your other side, marry the moon and the earth. So it looks like a really good week for you, actually, Cancer. Really chuffed for you. And it seems like you're coming out of a situation that's been happening over the period, which I think that 5 of Swords, to be honest, is neither here nor there. It's just a case of kind of going, I'm not getting involved in that anymore. And that's the sort of attitude you can have at the moment. Not getting involved in that. No, it doesn't serve me anything. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the clarification. In order to see that, you've got to subscribe and click that bell. But don't forget, we'll be doing other stuff on the energy updates on Somatic TV. So in the meantime, Cancer, please do enjoy. Life should be fun.